It's like her saying that she's had a lot of problems because of her race. It's like me saying I'm discriminated against every day because I'm gay. Yes, people have called me a but it's not every day at coffee.
I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers? They're the original racists.
I think she goes to him in the night and goes, your mother called me the N-word. He's like, my mother's dead. My mother's dead.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Do you know how fucking weird it is when a prince knows your name? He's like, Joe Rogan's giving out dangerous vaccine misinformation.
Like they are under the impression they have big thoughts. Like Meghan and Harry, I've listened to both of them talk. Garden variety retards. Both of them.
I mean, I like them. I hope they don't go away. I hope they keep doing this. I hope they keep behaving shamefully. It's great for the tabloids. It's great for us. We keep doing it.
Once at a gig, at the back was Harry and William, Madonna and Paul McCartney. Not one of them paid.
And I'm literally at the party. They're showing me text of this woman begging people to like hang out. She's trying to get places. It's sad.
Tim Dillon fired at Meghan Markle and the room flipped in a heartbeat. A line did not bend. It shattered in front of everyone. How did Meghan and Harry end up in the sights of comedy's coldest new voice? 3 tracks tell it. First, Dillon's close-range takedown of who they are. Second, the echo from big names like Chris Rock, which showed this was larger than one guy on a stage. Third, the couple's own choices in public kept adding fuel, so each joke landed harder. One moment still sits above the rest, a sharp Family Guy line that cuts deeper than most live sets. You will hear it soon. We start with Dillon's first strike, the one that cracked their main story about being the ones who were hurt. He pointed at the clash everyone could see, sad tales told from a life of comfort and big checks. To him, the streaming series did not feel like help or healing. It looked like a shiny parade of privilege that could not see itself. A brand plan wearing a mask. Keep that in mind because the mask shows up again.
It's very interesting to make a 3-part documentary on Netflix about how bad things are while living in a castle. I find the lack of self-awareness there to be very fun. I mean, they're very funny.
That blind spot turned into material that kept paying off. Dillon drew them as 2 people floating far above normal life, too distant to hear how wild their complaints sounded to regular ears. Each interview and speech made the gap wider. The wider it got, the louder the laughs. People who ride buses and watch rent dates creep closer and hear the contrast right away. The more they tried to explain, the less it connected. That break stayed in the air and pulled the room forward because everyone wanted to know how far the distance would go.
Portray yourself as somebody who's whilst living in a castle and then leaving and flying to America to stay in the home of a big celebrity. They make me laugh.
After the big theme, Dillon drilled into small scenes that felt staged. The oddest to him was Meghan saying she was shocked she needed to curtsy to the Queen. Then Harry asked if she knew how to curtsy, which pushed it further. Dillon's answer came fast. It matched what many viewers felt at home, a quick jolt of disbelief. Was this real confusion or a scene built to invite sympathy? He left the question hanging on purpose. The uncertainty made the next beat feel even closer, like the room was leaning in.
It's very interesting to make a 3-part documentary on Netflix about how bad things are while living in a castle. I find the lack of self-awareness there to be very fun. I mean, they're very funny.
What do you mean? You thought it was a joke? She's the Queen of fucking England.
Those curtsy bits were tiny compared to the blast at their biggest claim, royal racism. Chris Rock went straight at it, no soft touch, and the jokes hit like a judge's gavel. He said Meghan seemed pleasant but kept complaining, then asked if she had won the light-skinned lottery and still felt wronged. He flipped it again. This is the royal family, the oldest club around. Did you really not look them up? He called them the original source of that kind of thinking. That tore away the idea that she was caught off guard. The crowd treated it like a verdict, and the laughter sounded like a stamp on the page.
The f*** is she talking about? I didn't know. That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot.
Rock finished by turning their loudest claim into a family question people do ask. He joked that wondering how brown a baby might be is not always hateful because even black families talk about it. With that door open, Tim Dillon stepped in and backed the idea with sharper teeth. He said Meghan used race as a shield to block fair hits. Was this about pain or was it about power? Dillon said it was strategy. From here on, reason and intent sat in the center and everything else rotated around that point.
It's like her saying that she's had a lot of problems because of her race. It's like me saying I'm discriminated against every day because I'm gay. Yes, people have called me a but it's not every day at coffee.
Dillon pushed the scene to the edge and made it brutal, building a late-night exchange that felt unreal by design. He pictured Meghan telling Harry that his mother used a slur, and Harry saying his mother had passed. The punch snapped like a lid. He twisted it once more, colder and meaner, and the crowd gasped. If the tale of suffering was a performance, then the reason behind it stood bare. He argued the move to America was not about peace or healing. It was business. Turn royal drama and blurred trauma into money, headlines, and a louder name. Hold that thought, because you will see the same pattern echo through the deals that came next.
Came to America and immediately started to monetize the horrible things they had gone through. And everybody eventually got sick of them because it was so crass and everybody could see immediately what they were both about.
Patience in the crowd and the industry ran thin. Sparkling deals started to stumble in daylight. The biggest flop was the Spotify partnership, a giant payday tied to thin output and soft impact. It became a public faceplant for the couple and an expensive lesson for the platform. People noticed. Buzz faded into burnout. That stain did not wash off. It followed them into new rooms and made each fresh pitch harder to sell.
Now the articles are coming out that Spotify lost a lot of money, giving them money to do all these things that they never ended up really doing, and nobody ended up listening after the first few episodes.
Getting paid for very little hit a deep nerve. It echoed an old knock on royalty, a steady sense of entitlement. Ricky Gervais has pressed that theme for years, and it made Harry and Meghan look like fresh proof of a system that takes more than it gives. He told a story from a show where Harry, William, Madonna, and Paul McCartney sat in the back and no one paid. One picture, one punch. Critics say the pattern still shows up. Meghan's new lifestyle brand looks like the next turn of the same wheel. Dillon mapped her buyers as fans who choose the label for noise and loyalty, not for taste or value. It becomes a purchase of status and headlines more than what is in the jar.
I'm getting some American Riviera Orchard from Meghan Markle because they were racist to her.
The jab reached past jars and into belief. Dillon said the whole plan sits on a smug view of the world, far from normal life, like she thinks she is a guide handing treats to the crowd below. He joked that she sees the rest of us as messy and low, and that her honey will lift us up. To critics, that grift feeling is not just a way to make cash. It is a window into the person they believe she is, a sour force that ruins every project it touches. Keep that picture in the corner of your mind, because the sharp Family Guy line will snap right to it when you hear it.
If you came up with the picture of an annoying, insufferable white woman, it would be Meghan Markle, even though she's not white.
He was not only saying she rubs people the wrong way, son. He went darker and claimed something inside is broken, which is why the show is so watchable for the wrong reasons. He said if you have not seen it, you cannot grasp how wild it feels, then called her very sick, his words. He took another swing at her smarts, saying anyone who met her would spot it fast. He said a lunch with Meghan would reveal a shallow mind, and he tried to remove race from it by saying he would not even think she was black on sight. He pinned it on her being an actress from Suits. Then he grouped Meghan and Harry under one of his harshest censored labels and dared anyone to push back. The room did not blink.
Like they are under the impression they have big thoughts. Like Meghan and Harry, I've listened to both of them talk. Garden variety retards. Both of them.
Next, he drew a ladder made of people. He said she steps on necks to climb, cares little about others, and wants power above all. Words are cheap, so he brought a real case. The New York car chase story. He called it staged from day one. Reports came in from people nearby, including the cab driver. The city itself raises a question. Can you even run a fast chase there with lights, short blocks, and heavy traffic? It sounded like pretend danger built for cameras. If that is right, then the reason from earlier slides right into place.
All of a sudden, paparazzis came and started taking pictures, and then instead of, they were just about to give me the location where they were gonna go, but then they told me to circle back to the precinct.
When the driver was asked if the paparazzi were aggressive, his answer popped the balloon. No, they kept a distance. It was just journalists trying to get shots. In moments, the headline chase shrank into a normal ride through town. That hit hard. What first looked like danger now read like a setup for attention. In Hollywood, a move like that carries a cost. Dillon said the quiet pushback had started. Texts to big names, cool replies. The rooms she wanted began to close. If the doors keep closing, where do you go next?
And I'm literally at the party, they're showing me texts of this woman begging people to hang out. She's trying to get places. It's sad.
That hunger showed up in more places. People she reached out to shifted from polite to tired. Dillon quoted friends at a party who said they tried to be kind, but enough was enough. To him, that locked in the main image. She felt like a reality star who married into the palace to upgrade in Los Angeles, not to serve a crown. He joked that nobody is a real housewife than Meghan, who took Harry out of his so-called racist family, moved to Beverly Hills, and made content about drama. While she chased status and slipped, Harry swung at giants like Joe Rogan for no clear reason. The cost was simple: more closed doors, followers, fewer allies. A brand that felt used up, like a show people watched once and will not binge again. What happens when the spotlight no longer feels warm?
This is a true story. One time, I just woke up, I'm in my underwear, I plop down in front of the TV, I turn it on. The moment I turn it on, Prince Harry's talking shit about.
Harry's big stand focused on what he called dangerous misinformation. The match looked strange to many people. A prince scolding one of the world's biggest podcast hosts about how to talk. The claim sounded large, but the fit felt off. A royal trying to police a free and messy conversation. Eyes turned to see if this would turn into something heavy or slip away.
Do you know how weird it is when a prince knows your name? He's like, Joe Rogan's giving out dangerous vaccine misinformation.
Rogan's reply poked a hole in the moment. He joked that he might have said the thing, maybe, which made the clash look small and silly. The serious tone faded. The air went out. What was set up as a major stand turned into a shrug in seconds. If even the loud clashes end in a shrug, what is left to hold attention? The room had its answer and still wanted more. After months of awkward climbing and loud public scraps, their image looked broken. The story they offered did not hold. The business plan cracked. What remained was the punchline, and Dillon saw it. This was not a handful of jokes. It was a river that kept flowing. He said the quiet part. He wants them to keep going because the chaos feeds shows, feeds tabloids, and pays comics. Nothing changes unless something real cuts through it. Until then, the current keeps moving in the same direction. He no longer paints them as royals or as people who were hurt. He treats them as two very unserious players in a reality show they built without meaning to. The spectacle grows because each new move becomes a clip, a meme, and a fresh laugh that sticks to their names. If the story writes itself this easily, people will keep watching. They will share the next moment too, and the one after that.
I have embraced these two clowns. I like them. Yes, they're grifters. Yes, they're deeply unserious, and they're not that bright, but I respect how far they've got.
This feels like the last stop in the slide. In Dillon's world, they went from crown to clown, and the crowd is not laughing with them, it is laughing at them. The tale drifted so far off track that it turned into cartoon fuel. Here is the line people kept quoting. A character says history is awful, brings up the Crusades, then tosses in Prince Harry marrying Meghan Markle again, and gets checked for acting like other people's spouses are perfect. It is a hard hit, and insiders say the pair hates being placed beside a monster from history. When your life becomes a quick joke on a show like Family Guy, debate does not stretch. It stops. The old shine turns into a running bit, and once a bit sticks, it walks into the room before you do. That is how a joke turns into a label, and how a label becomes your whole story. Try shaking that in the next scene, but this was never only about Tim Dillon or Chris Rock. It was a tale that leaked from every corner until the ship sank. Titles could not save it. Streaming money could not hold it up. The internet runs on a simple rule. You cannot sell struggle from a palace. You cannot ask for privacy while you chase cameras with both hands. People see the gaps, they add them up, then trust snaps. When that break hits the public square with comics as loud town criers, swings the hammer and calls it. Clips spread, shares spike, the strongest frame wins. If the frame is clown over crown, it settles in like a mask, and each headline tightens the fit. If a reset is coming, it has not arrived yet. Listen to the laughter across these moments. It is not only about punchlines. It is the sound of a story the crowd no longer buys. After the missteps, the mockery, and the cuts they gave themselves, is there a real way left to rebuild trust? Or is the brand set like concrete, shaped by the bits that chipped it down, with each new headline turning the wheel again? The only way out would take strong proof, fewer speeches, and actions that land without spin. If that proof never shows, the show keeps rolling, the edits get tighter, and the credits never end. Full breakdown is ready. Click the video on the right to keep watching to see the 3 paths, the key pivot, and the wild card. Tap the playlist to your right to binge the full Meghan Controversies playlist.